If you are watching this video, it means you care about your health. Or perhaps you are starting to realize that the choices you make today will shape your independence, happiness, and well-being in the years ahead. My name is Dr. Michael Langston, and for over 30 years, I have devoted my career to helping older Americans discover the secrets of healthy aging, with a special focus on the muscles, which I believe are the true engines of longevity. Let me start with a truth that very few people will tell you. Losing muscle after 60 is not inevitable, but it is silent, relentless, and for many people, it can be life-altering. Day by day, you hardly notice the slow weakening of your muscles, but over the years, it can quietly erode your freedom and confidence. I remember James, a retired firefighter from Ohio, who walked into my clinic one autumn morning. He sat across from me and said, "Doc, I still feel young in my mind, but these days, I'm having trouble getting up from the couch, carrying groceries, or playing with my grandchildren." James was 68, always active, and had never thought much about muscle health. Now, even basic things felt hard. His story is far from unique. Across America, millions of men and women people who once loved to hike, garden, travel, or simply live life on their own terms find themselves frustrated by creeping weakness, poor balance, and a loss of confidence. Some blame age, others blame old injuries, but for most, the real culprit is a process called sarcopenia, the gradual, age-related loss of muscle mass and function. Why does this matter so much? Because muscle is not just for athletes or bodybuilders. Muscle is your body's powerhouse. It lets you stand up from a chair, catch yourself from a stumble, carry your suitcase, climb stairs, and enjoy every day with purpose. When you lose muscle, you lose far more than strength. You lose mobility, metabolism, resilience, and too often, your independence. Here's the hope, the message that inspired me to write this guide for you. Muscle loss can be prevented, slowed, or even reversed at any age. The key isn't expensive supplements or extreme workouts. It's understanding how your body works and making small, science-based changes to your nutrition, daily routine, and mindset. For much of the 20th century, aging was seen as a steady decline, a time of unavoidable weakness. But new research from leading American institutions like Harvard and the Mayo Clinic has revealed that muscle remains remarkably adaptable even after 60 or 70. With the right approach, you can build new muscle fibers, improve your balance and reaction time, and even sharpen your mind and mood. I want to share Maria's story with you. She is a 73-year-old retired teacher from Texas. When she first came to see me, she felt tired, unsteady, and frustrated by her shrinking body. She told me, "Dr. Langston, I just want to keep up with my book club, work in my garden, and be able to travel to see my family." After 6 months of targeted changes in her protein intake and daily activity, Maria regained strength, found more energy, and rediscovered her confidence. Her story proves that small, consistent steps can make a world of difference. Here in the United States, 1 out of every 3 people over the age of 70 has lost so much muscle that doctors call it sarcopenia. This doesn't just make life harder, it increases the risk of falls, fractures, hospital stays, and even memory problems. Muscle is essential for your immune system, blood sugar control, and your ability to bounce back after illness or surgery. Yet sarcopenia often goes undiagnosed until it causes a crisis. But you don't have to wait for a crisis. You can take charge of your muscle health right now. Muscle is at the heart of everything you do. It keeps you steady on your feet, lets you walk with friends, pick up your grandchild, and even supports your mind and mood. Modern science shows that muscle releases special molecules when you move, helping to protect your brain from aging, fight off depression, and keep your metabolism working well. I think of Harold, an 81-year-old veteran from Pennsylvania. After a fall that broke his wrist, Harold was determined not to lose his independence. We built a simple plan together: protein-rich meals every day, gentle strength exercises, and a nightly bowl of cottage cheese before bed. Within months, Harold had more energy. He could mow his lawn, volunteer at his church, and most importantly, he felt safe and confident living on his own. "I got my life back," he told me, with a smile I will never forget. You don't need to become a gym enthusiast or lift heavy weights to protect your muscles. Most of my patients, like Margaret from California, have never even set foot in a gym. They garden, walk, carry groceries, or do simple chair exercises at home. What matters most is consistency and intention, giving your body the right signals through movement and nutrition. Here is the part that is so often overlooked. Protein is not just about how much you eat, but also about when and what kind you eat. Most older adults eat most of their protein at dinner, but skip it at breakfast and lunch. Even fewer realize that the kind of protein you choose, especially before bed, can make a dramatic difference in maintaining your muscle while you sleep. For decades, eggs have been America's go-to protein. But now, we know that cottage cheese contains even more protein per serving, is rich in a powerful amino acid called leucine, and is especially good at supporting muscle maintenance overnight. In this guide, I'll show you exactly how to use these foods in simple and affordable ways to rebuild your strength, energy, and love of life. Throughout this article, you'll find clear explanations of how muscle ages and what you can do about it. Science-backed nutrition strategies for older Americans. Personal stories from real people who overcame muscle loss. Practical routines for movement and sleep. And easy recipes and tips for shopping. Most of all, you'll find hope and motivation no matter where you're starting from. This is not about perfection. You don't need to train like an athlete or eat perfectly every day. You do deserve to feel strong, steady, and independent. I have seen this happen for thousands of people across the United States: retirees in Florida, teachers in Michigan, engineers in Colorado, and small business owners in Arizona. Their secret? Taking small steps day after day, rooted in the latest science. Aging is not a disease. It is a journey, one with new challenges and opportunities. The years after 60 can be the most rewarding, fulfilling decades of your life if you care for your muscles, your mind, and your spirit. Remember James, Maria, Harold, and Margaret? Their lives changed not because of miracles, but because they chose to take action. You can too. As you begin this journey with me, please remember, it's never too late to build a stronger body and a brighter future. Let's get started together. As we age, there is a quiet battle taking place inside our bodies. A battle that too many people lose without even realizing it's happening. The name of this battle is sarcopenia, a gradual and persistent loss of muscle mass and strength that begins long before most of us notice a difference. You might wake up one day and wonder why climbing stairs feels harder, or why getting out of a chair takes more effort than it did just a few years ago. It's easy to blame old injuries or simply getting older, but the science reveals a much more complex and hopeful story. Muscle is far more than what we see in the mirror. It is a living, dynamic tissue that drives our strength, movement, metabolism, energy, and even our immune system. With every decade after the age of 30, the average adult loses between 3 and 8% of their muscle mass, a process that speeds up significantly after 60. By the time you reach 70, the loss can be so great that it starts to threaten not just your strength, but your independence. Why does this happen? One reason is hormonal change. Important hormones that once fueled muscle growth, like testosterone, estrogen, and growth hormone, decline as we get older. At the same time, chronic low-level inflammation becomes more common, often driven by the foods we eat, a more sedentary lifestyle, or underlying health problems. This inflammaging, as scientists now call it, makes it even harder for the body to build and repair muscle tissue. But perhaps the biggest culprit is something called anabolic resistance. As we age, our muscles become less sensitive to the usual signals for growth. That means you actually need more of the right kind of stimulation, especially from high-quality protein and resistance exercise, to get the same effect as you did when you were younger. Physical activity is also a big part of the story. Many adults become less active due to joint pain, fatigue, or fear of injury, which speeds up muscle loss. Nutrition changes too. Appetite can decrease. Dental issues may make chewing harder, or digestion may not work as well as it used to, all of which make it more challenging to get enough of the nutrients that keep muscles healthy. Let me share the story of Carol, a 71-year-old from North Carolina. Carol had always enjoyed gardening and taking long walks in her neighborhood. But over a few years, she noticed her legs were getting weaker, and lifting bags of soil for her garden became a struggle. After talking with her, we discovered that she was eating far less protein than she needed, and she had stopped doing her gentle strength exercises. With some guidance, Carol began spreading her protein evenly throughout her meals, added a few simple resistance exercises, and within months, she felt steadier, stronger, and more confident in her daily life. What I want you to understand is that muscle loss is not an unavoidable part of aging. It is a warning sign that your body needs a new strategy. The good news is that modern research from leading American medical centers shows that even after the age of 60, your body can build new muscle fibers, improve balance, and restore much of the strength you thought was gone for good. Muscle isn't just about moving boxes or lifting grandchildren. It protects you in ways you may not realize. Muscle helps regulate blood sugar and protects against diabetes, keeps your metabolism high so you can maintain a healthy weight, and supports your immune system during illness or recovery from surgery. Muscle loss doesn't just increase the risk of falls or broken bones. It can lead to slower healing and even impact your ability to recover from infections or injuries. You might be surprised to learn that strong muscles are linked to a healthy mind as well. Recent research shows that when you move your muscles, they release molecules called myokines, which travel to the brain and help protect it from aging, support memory, and even lift your mood. In my practice, I have seen patients like Richard, a 78-year-old retired engineer from Illinois, who reported feeling sharper and more positive after adopting a muscle-focused nutrition and movement plan. For Richard, building muscle was about reclaiming not just his body, but his confidence and outlook on life. It is never too late to start. Whether you are 60, 70, or even 80, your body will respond to the right signals. You don't need to become a weightlifter or spend hours at the gym. You need to move regularly, eat the right kinds of protein, and spread that protein evenly through your day. You need to give your muscles a reason to grow, and you need to give them the building blocks they require to stay strong. In the chapters ahead, we'll explore how protein works at the cellular level, why timing matters so much, and how even small changes can have a profound impact. Remember, muscle loss is not just a part of getting older, it's a challenge you can overcome and a battle you can win. Together, we'll make sure you do. When it comes to protecting your muscles after the age of 60, protein becomes one of the most important tools you have. Yet, most people are still stuck in old ways of thinking, focusing only on how much protein they eat in a day, or thinking that any kind of protein is enough. Modern science tells us a different story. After 60, both the quality and the timing of your protein matter just as much as the quantity. Let's start with the basics. The amount of protein recommended by official guidelines is called the RDA, or Recommended Dietary Allowance. For years, this number has been set at 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. But here's the catch: this level is just the bare minimum to prevent outright deficiency, not the amount needed to thrive as you age. In my experience, and in the opinion of most leading experts in geriatric medicine, seniors do much better with at least 1.0 to 1.2 grams per kilogram, and sometimes more, especially if recovering from illness or surgery. But the story doesn't end there. Not all proteins are created equal. The human body needs 9 essential amino acids to build and repair muscle, and not every protein source provides them all. Proteins that have all 9 are called complete proteins. These include animal-based foods like eggs, dairy products, poultry, fish, and beef. Plant-based sources like beans, lentils, and nuts often lack 1 or more essential amino acids unless carefully combined with other foods. I remember meeting Sam, a 69-year-old retired teacher from Minnesota. Sam had recently switched to a mostly plant-based diet. He thought he was eating enough protein because he enjoyed beans and nuts every day. But after reviewing his meals, it became clear that he was not getting the right balance of amino acids. Once he added eggs, cottage cheese, and the occasional portion of fish, his strength and energy quickly improved. For those who prefer a vegetarian or mostly plant-based diet, combining different plant foods like beans with rice or lentils with whole grain bread can help achieve a complete amino acid profile. And for those who eat dairy, foods like cottage cheese and Greek yogurt are excellent choices, as they provide both high-quality protein and extra nutrients like calcium. Another common mistake I see in my clinic is eating most of your protein at dinner and very little at breakfast or lunch. This pattern is extremely common in the United States, and it's one of the main reasons older adults lose muscle, even if they are eating enough total protein by the end of the day. Research shows that spreading your protein intake evenly across 3 or 4 meals is far more effective for muscle maintenance and growth. This way, you give your body a steady supply of amino acids throughout the day, and your muscles receive repeated signals to repair and grow. Let's consider Susan, a 74-year-old from Oregon. Susan always had a light breakfast, usually just toast and coffee, and saved her main protein for dinner. Despite trying to walk every day, she felt weaker year after year. When we adjusted her routine to include Greek yogurt and berries at breakfast, a turkey sandwich at lunch, and her usual chicken or fish at dinner, Susan began to feel stronger and more energetic within just a few weeks. In addition to quality and timing, the form of protein matters. Some proteins are absorbed quickly, while others digest more slowly, providing a gradual release of amino acids. For older adults, including a slow-digesting protein like casein, found in cottage cheese, before bed can protect muscles during the long overnight fast. We'll explore this in more detail later, but know that the goal is to feed your muscles regularly, so they never go too long without the building blocks they need. Finally, it's important to remember that your protein needs increase during times of stress, illness, or recovery from injury. After a hospitalization or surgery, or during a period of illness, your body uses more protein to repair tissues, fight infections, and support your immune system. Don't be afraid to increase your intake during these times. Your muscles and your health will thank you. In summary, the new rules after 60 are simple but powerful. Focus on complete, high-quality proteins. Spread your intake across all meals, and don't be afraid to eat more protein than you did in your younger years. With the right approach, you'll provide your muscles with everything they need to stay strong, resilient, and ready for whatever life brings next. For generations, eggs have been celebrated as the gold standard of nutrition. In countless American households, a breakfast of scrambled or boiled eggs is seen as a symbol of wholesome eating, a tradition passed down from parents to children. Eggs are easy to prepare, affordable, and packed with high-quality protein, vitamins, and minerals. It's no surprise that many older adults rely on eggs as their primary protein source. But while eggs are indeed a nutritional powerhouse, The science of aging and muscle preservation reveals that eggs on their own may not be enough, especially for seniors who want to protect their strength and independence. Let's look closer at why. A single large egg provides about 6 grams of protein and contains important nutrients like choline and vitamin D. It's a nearly perfect food for most people. However, the type of protein found in eggs is digested quickly by the body. This fast absorption is ideal for post-workout recovery or for providing quick energy in the morning, but it doesn't offer the slow, sustained release of amino acids that aging muscles need, especially overnight. When you sleep, your body enters a fasting state that can last 8 to 10 hours or more. If your muscles don't receive a steady supply of amino acids during this time, your body may break down muscle tissue to meet its needs. This process, known as catabolism, happens more easily as we age. Eggs, with their fast-digesting protein, give your body a quick boost, but leave your muscles without support for the long stretch of the night. I think of my patient Linda, a 72-year-old from Georgia, who loved her morning eggs and toast. She took pride in her healthy breakfasts and believed that 2 eggs every morning were enough to protect her muscles. But as we talked about her day, Linda admitted she rarely ate protein at lunch and ate very little for dinner, usually having soup or a salad. Despite her efforts, she felt weaker with each passing year. When we added a serving of cottage cheese or Greek yogurt before bed and encouraged her to include a protein source at every meal, Linda began to feel the difference. She slept better, woke up feeling stronger, and her balance improved noticeably. It wasn't about eating more eggs. It was about providing her body with the right kind of protein at the right time. Another important factor is leucine, an essential amino acid that acts as a trigger for muscle building. Each egg contains about 0.5 gram of leucine, which is a great start, but seniors typically need around 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine at each meal to fully activate muscle growth and repair. For most people, that would require eating 5 or 6 eggs in one meal, something few would want to do. This is where the science points us to a more strategic approach. Rather than relying solely on eggs, it's crucial for seniors to choose a variety of protein sources, focusing on those rich in leucine and those that offer slower digestion, like cottage cheese or Greek yogurt, especially in the evening. These foods provide a steady stream of amino acids throughout the night, helping muscles repair and grow while you sleep. Of course, eggs still have their place. They're excellent as a part of a balanced breakfast or as a quick source of protein after exercise. But if your goal is to protect your muscles as you age, it's wise to combine eggs with other protein-rich foods and to pay special attention to when and how you eat them. Let's remember, the real goal isn't just to eat more protein, but to eat smarter, to give your body the fuel it needs to stay strong, steady, and independent at every stage of life. In the next section, we'll discover the hidden benefits of cottage cheese and how it can become a simple, delicious ally in your journey toward better health. If you walk down the dairy aisle in any American grocery store, you'll likely pass by rows of cottage cheese without giving them much thought. For many people, cottage cheese is just a side dish, a forgotten topping, or an old-fashioned snack. But for seniors who want to protect and rebuild their muscles, this humble food is a hidden powerhouse, one that modern science is finally giving the respect it deserves. Let's explore why. Cottage cheese is rich in a special kind of protein called casein. Unlike the fast-digesting protein in eggs or whey, casein is slow to break down in your body. This means it releases amino acids gradually, providing your muscles with a steady supply of building blocks over many hours, especially during the long overnight fast, when your body goes without food. Imagine your muscles as a team of builders. Fast proteins like those in eggs are like a quick breakfast before a big job, helpful, but soon gone. Casein, found in cottage cheese, is like sending the builders a steady delivery of supplies all through the night, making sure they never run out of what they need to repair and grow. 1/2 cup serving of low-fat cottage cheese gives you around 14 grams of protein, more than 2 eggs, and a generous dose of leucine, the essential amino acid that signals your body to build muscle. For most seniors, a serving of cottage cheese before bed can provide just the right amount of leucine to trigger muscle growth and repair during sleep. Let me share a story about Henry, a 75-year-old former accountant from Michigan. Henry had always been careful about his diet, but was losing strength each year, no matter how much he tried to exercise. When we added a small bowl of cottage cheese to his bedtime routine, everything changed. Henry reported feeling stronger, less achy, and more confident in his balance. He said, "I never thought a simple food could make such a difference, but now I wouldn't go a night without it." Cottage cheese is also a practical choice for people with different needs. For those who are lactose intolerant, many brands now offer lactose-free versions. It's affordable, easy to find, and can be paired with fruit, nuts, or a sprinkle of cinnamon for flavor and extra nutrients. Unlike some protein powders or trendy supplements, cottage cheese brings more than just protein to the table. It offers calcium for bone health, vitamin B12 for energy, and probiotics for gut health. It's a whole food, and in my years of practice, I've seen that simple, natural choices often lead to the best long-term results. Some patients worry that dairy will upset their stomach or raise their cholesterol, but most find that cottage cheese is gentle on the digestive system and fits well into a balanced diet. Of course, everyone is unique. If you have concerns about dairy, talk with your doctor or try small amounts to see how your body responds. The real magic of cottage cheese isn't just in the numbers, it's in the timing. Eating it about 30 to 60 minutes before bed gives your muscles what they need most, right when you're entering the body's peak repair mode. That small bowl can help protect your muscles all night, reducing breakdown and supporting growth. So the next time you're shopping, don't pass by the cottage cheese section. Consider giving your muscles the steady, gentle support they need. A simple serving each evening could be the easiest, most effective way to turn back the clock on muscle loss and reclaim your strength night after night. One of the most fascinating discoveries in recent science is that not all protein is equal when it comes to building and preserving muscle, especially as we age. There's a special ingredient within protein that acts like a switch for muscle growth, and its name is leucine. Leucine is one of the branched-chain amino acids, an essential part of the protein you eat, and a true powerhouse for anyone hoping to maintain their strength after 60. When you consume enough leucine at a meal, you activate a pathway in your body called mTOR, short for mechanistic target of rapamycin. Think of mTOR as the master switch for muscle building. When it's turned on, your body knows it's time to repair and grow muscle tissue. But here's the catch. As you get older, your body becomes less sensitive to these signals. That means just eating a little bit of protein isn't enough. For mTOR to fully activate, you need to hit a certain threshold of leucine at every meal. Usually about 2.5 to 3 grams for most older adults. If you don't reach that mark, it's as if you delivered all the building materials but forgot to tell the workers to start the project. Let me share the story of Carol, a 76-year-old artist from California. Carol thought she was eating plenty of protein throughout the day, some cheese here, a handful of nuts there, a small chicken breast for dinner. But she still felt weak, and her muscle mass continued to drop. When we looked at her meals more closely, we saw that she was never getting enough leucine in any one sitting to flip the switch on muscle growth. Once we helped her adjust her portions, like eating a full cup of cottage cheese or a larger serving of lean meat at meals, Carol started feeling stronger and noticed her balance improving after just a month. So how can you get enough leucine? Some of the richest sources are animal-based foods like cottage cheese, chicken breast, lean beef, eggs, and whey protein. For instance, A cup of low-fat cottage cheese contains about 2.6 grams of leucine, which is just right for most older adults. By comparison, you would need to eat 5 to 6 eggs in one meal to get the same leucine as in a single cup of cottage cheese. Even for those who prefer plant-based eating, it's possible to get enough leucine, but it usually takes careful planning and larger portions of foods like soybeans or lentils. Most plant proteins are lower in leucine per serving, which means you have to eat more of them or combine several sources to hit the threshold. The science is clear. Muscle growth and maintenance depend not just on the total protein you eat, but on reaching this leucine threshold at each meal. That's why it's so helpful to choose foods rich in leucine, especially for breakfast and lunch, times when many seniors tend to eat less protein. It's not about perfection, it's about awareness and smart choices. If you focus on getting enough leucine at every meal, you give your muscles the signal they need to stay strong, respond to exercise, and keep you moving with confidence. In my years of practice, I've seen time and again that the seniors who thrive are those who learn to flip the muscle switch with the right kind of protein. It's a simple change, but it can mean the difference between losing strength each year and enjoying a life of vitality and independence. Most people know that protein is essential for muscle, but few realize that when you eat, your protein can be just as important as how much you eat, especially after 60. This is the science of protein timing, a concept that is revolutionizing how we help older adults preserve and even rebuild their strength. Let's start with the basics. Your body is constantly building up and breaking down muscle tissue in a cycle known as muscle protein synthesis and muscle protein breakdown. In younger people, the balance naturally favors growth and repair, but as we age, this balance shifts, and the breakdown side can take over unless we intervene with smart strategies. One of the most powerful strategies is distributing your protein intake evenly throughout the day. In America, many seniors eat most of their protein at dinner, with little or none at breakfast or lunch. This pattern leaves your muscles unfed for long stretches, missing critical windows when your body is most ready to repair and build muscle. Let me share the story of Grace, a 79-year-old retired nurse from Arizona. Grace would have just coffee and toast for breakfast, a salad for lunch, and save her main protein for dinner. She thought this was healthy, but she kept getting weaker, and her energy was fading. Once we shifted her routine, adding Greek yogurt and berries for breakfast, a chicken wrap at lunch, and her usual fish at dinner, she was amazed by the difference. Grace found she had more strength, steadier balance, and her afternoons were no longer filled with fatigue. Science backs up Grace's experience. Research from leading American nutrition journals shows that eating 20 to 40 grams of protein at each meal is much more effective for muscle preservation than loading up on protein at just one meal. When you give your muscles a steady supply of amino acids throughout the day, you keep the muscle-building process switched on and you minimize breakdown. Another key moment for protein is right after exercise. Your muscles are especially receptive to protein within about 2 hours after a workout or physical activity. This is when muscle repair and growth are most efficient. Whether you prefer a walk, a short resistance workout, or even gardening, adding a protein-rich snack soon after will give your muscles what they need to recover and grow. But there's one more timing secret that most people overlook: the power of a pre-bed protein snack. During sleep, your body repairs muscle, releases growth hormones, and rebuilds tissue. If you provide your body with a slow-digesting, protein-like cottage cheese or casein powder about 30 to 60 minutes before bed, you supply your muscles with amino acids all night long, protecting them from overnight breakdown. My patient Edward, an 80-year-old former basketball coach from Indiana, struggled with nighttime leg cramps and felt weaker each morning. By adding a small bowl of cottage cheese before bed, Not only did his cramps subside, but his sleep quality improved, and he woke up with more energy. Edward told me, "I never thought something so simple could change my mornings, but it really has." So remember, it's not just the amount of protein that matters, but the rhythm of your meals and snacks throughout the day and night. Start your day with a protein-rich breakfast. Continue with balanced lunches and dinners. And consider a protein boost after activity and before sleep. Your muscles will thank you, and you'll notice the difference in your strength, balance, and overall quality of life. When we think about muscle, it's easy to focus on strength, movement, and physical ability. But muscle does far more than help you walk or lift things. In recent years, scientists have discovered that muscle health is deeply connected to the mind, affecting mood, memory, and even your resilience against stress and disease. For seniors, this mind-body connection can be the key to not just living longer, but living better. Let's start with the basics. Muscle is one of the most metabolically active tissues in your body. When you move, whether walking, gardening, or lifting groceries, your muscles release special molecules called myokines. These myokines travel through your bloodstream and communicate with your brain, helping to support the growth of new brain cells, improve memory, and protect against depression. I remember the story of Betty, a 78-year-old librarian from Colorado. Betty had always valued her mental sharpness, reading books and playing word games every day. But as she grew older and became less active, she noticed her memory fading and her mood becoming more anxious. Together, we worked on a plan: simple resistance exercises, regular walks, and a renewed focus on balanced, protein-rich meals. Over a few months, Betty not only felt physically stronger, but she reported clearer thinking and a brighter mood. She told me, "I didn't realize how much my body and mind depended on each other until I started moving again." Science backs up Betty's experience. Studies from leading American research centers show that seniors with more muscle mass tend to have better memory, less depression, and a lower risk of cognitive decline. One reason is the production of a molecule called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which helps create new connections in the brain. Regular movement and adequate protein both boost BDNF, making your brain more resilient as you age. Muscle health also impacts your ability to handle stress. When your muscles are strong, your body can better regulate blood sugar, manage inflammation, and recover from illness. Seniors with low muscle mass often feel fatigued, have poor sleep, and become more vulnerable to chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease. By taking care of your muscles, you are not only protecting your body, but also building a strong foundation for emotional stability and lifelong learning. Let's talk about John, an 80-year-old former high school coach from New York. John faced a long winter of isolation after a hip surgery. He felt discouraged, his energy was low, and he started to lose interest in hobbies. With the help of family, John began gentle exercises at home, included more protein at each meal, and took daily walks, even if just around his living room at first. Gradually, he felt more alert, his sleep improved, and his family noticed he was laughing and sharing stories again. The lesson is clear. Muscles are more than just for movement. They are vital for keeping your mind sharp, your spirits high, and your body resilient. Every step you take, every time you lift or stretch, and every protein-rich meal you enjoy, you are investing in both your body and your mind. So as you continue this journey to protect your muscles, remember that you're also nurturing your mental health, your creativity, and your sense of purpose. Muscle truly is medicine not just for the body, but for the mind and soul as well. If you truly want to protect your muscle and stay strong as you age, you need more than just knowledge. You need a practical plan that you can follow in real life. The good news is that you don't need a gym membership, fancy equipment, or a complicated diet. What matters most is having a simple, consistent routine that combines food, movement, sleep, and recovery. Let's put everything together to create a muscle protocol that works for you. Start in the kitchen. The foundation of muscle health is your daily nutrition. Focus on including high-quality protein at every meal. Eggs or Greek yogurt for breakfast, lean meats or fish for lunch and dinner, and cottage cheese or a casein shake before bed. Plan ahead, keep easy options on hand like boiled eggs, rotisserie chicken, or a tub of cottage cheese so you're never caught without a protein source. Remember to spread your protein across 3 or 4 meals, not just one big dinner. Your body benefits most from a steady flow of amino acids throughout the day. Make it a habit to read food labels, try new recipes, and add beans, tofu, or nuts to your meals for variety and nutrition. Next, bring movement into your daily routine. You don't have to lift heavy weights or run marathons. Simple bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, or walking are powerful tools for muscle health. Start with what you can do, maybe 5 minutes a day, then gradually add more as you gain strength and confidence. For example, try squats while holding onto the kitchen counter, gentle push-ups against the wall, or light resistance band exercises while watching your favorite TV show. I think of Daniel, a 72-year-old from Ohio, who was nervous about starting any kind of exercise after a mild stroke. We set a goal of walking 5 minutes each morning, then built up to short sessions with a resistance band. In a few months, Daniel felt stronger, his balance improved, and he even inspired his wife to join in. They made it a daily ritual, which not only helped their bodies, but brought them closer together. Don't underestimate the power of daily movement. Even walking around your neighborhood, gardening, or taking the stairs adds up over time and keeps your muscles engaged. Consistency beats intensity. Doing something every day, even if it's small, will serve you better than doing a hard workout once in a while. Sleep and recovery are just as important as nutrition and exercise. Your muscles repair and grow when you rest, especially during deep sleep. Create a bedtime routine that helps you relax. Turn off screens an hour before bed, dim the lights, and do a little gentle stretching. Consider a warm bath, calming music, or a few deep breaths. If you struggle with sleep, talk to your doctor. Quality rest is essential for healthy aging. Finally, be kind to yourself. Building strength takes time, and setbacks happen to everyone. If you miss a workout or have a day of less than ideal meals, let it go and start fresh the next day. The real key is to make your muscle protocol a part of your life, not a chore or a short-term challenge. When you bring your kitchen, your movement, and your rest together, you create an environment where your muscles can thrive at any age. And with every step, every meal, and every good night's sleep, you're investing in your future strength, independence, and joy. If you truly want to protect your muscle and stay strong as you age, you need more than just knowledge. You need a practical plan that you can follow in real life. The good news is that you don't need a gym membership, fancy equipment, or a complicated diet. What matters most is having a simple, consistent routine that combines food, movement, sleep, and recovery. Let's put everything together to create a muscle protocol that works for you. Start in the kitchen. The foundation of muscle health is your daily nutrition. Focus on including high-quality protein at every meal. Eggs or Greek yogurt for breakfast, lean meats or fish for lunch and dinner, and cottage cheese or a casein shake before bed. Plan ahead, keep easy options on hand, like boiled eggs, rotisserie chicken, or a tub of cottage cheese so you're never caught without a protein source. Remember to spread your protein across 3 or 4 meals, not just one big dinner. Your body benefits most from a steady flow of amino acids throughout the day. Make it a habit to read food labels, try new recipes, and add beans, tofu, or nuts to your meals for variety and nutrition. Next, bring movement into your daily routine. You don't have to lift heavy weights or run marathons. Simple body weight exercises, resistance bands, or walking are powerful tools for muscle health. Start with what you can do, maybe 5 minutes a day, then gradually add more as you gain strength and confidence. For example, Try squats while holding on to the kitchen counter, gentle push-ups against the wall, or light resistance band exercises while watching your favorite TV show. I think of Daniel, a 72-year-old from Ohio, who was nervous about starting any kind of exercise after a mild stroke. We set a goal of walking 5 minutes each morning, then built up to short sessions with a resistance band. In a few months, Daniel felt stronger, his balance improved, and he even inspired his wife to join in. They made it a daily ritual, which not only helped their bodies, but brought them closer together. Don't underestimate the power of daily movement. Even walking around your neighborhood, gardening, or taking the stairs adds up over time and keeps your muscles engaged. Consistency beats intensity. Doing something every day, even if it's small, will serve you better than doing a hard workout once in a while. Sleep and recovery are just as important as nutrition and exercise. Your muscles repair and grow when you rest, especially during deep sleep. Create a bedtime routine that helps you relax. Turn off screens an hour before bed, dim the lights, and do a little gentle stretching. Consider a warm bath, calming music, or a few deep breaths. If you struggle with sleep, talk to your doctor. Quality rest is essential for healthy aging. Finally, be kind to yourself. Building strength takes time, and setbacks happen to everyone. If you miss a workout or have a day of less than ideal meals, let it go and start fresh the next day. The real key is to make your muscle protocol a part of your life, not a chore or a short-term challenge. When you bring your kitchen, your movement, and your rest together, you create an environment where your muscles can thrive at any age. And with every step, every meal, and every good night's sleep, you're investing in your future strength, independence, and joy. As you set out to protect your muscles and boost your strength, you might encounter some unique challenges. The good news is that nearly every obstacle can be managed with the right strategies and a little creativity. Let's look at some common concerns and how you can overcome them so you never have to give up on your journey to better muscle health. One frequent issue is lactose intolerance. Many seniors find that dairy products upset their stomach, causing discomfort or digestive troubles. Fortunately, there are many lactose-free cottage cheese options now available at most grocery stores. Greek yogurt is often easier to digest, and some brands even produce lactose-free versions. If dairy is still a problem, consider high-quality plant-based protein options, such as tofu or soy protein, although it may take larger servings and careful planning to get enough leucine and essential amino acids. Let me share the story of Alice, a 77-year-old from Florida who loved cottage cheese but had to give it up because of digestive problems. When we switched her to a lactose-free variety and included more eggs and fish in her meals, she was able to enjoy protein-rich foods again without discomfort. Alice's strength improved, and she no longer worried about stomach troubles getting in the way of her health goals. Vegetarians and those following mostly plant-based diets have their own considerations. Plant proteins are often lower in leucine than animal proteins, and sometimes lack one or more essential amino acids. The solution is variety and thoughtful combinations: beans with rice, lentils with whole grain bread, and adding soy foods like tofu or tempeh. Some seniors find that using a plant-based protein shake, especially after exercise or before bed, can help meet their needs. Another common scenario is dealing with medical conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, or heart disease. The beauty of the muscle protection protocol is that it supports many aspects of health at once. If you have diabetes, focus on pairing your proteins with fiber-rich vegetables and whole grains to keep your blood sugar steady. For heart health, choose lean proteins like fish and skinless poultry and prepare them in heart-healthy ways: grilled, baked, or steamed, not fried. Dental issues can also make chewing or swallowing protein foods challenging. In these cases, soft options like cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, scrambled eggs, or protein-rich smoothies are excellent choices. Blended soups with beans or lentils can provide both protein and comfort. Finally, remember that everyone's journey is different. Some days you may eat less, or miss a workout, or feel more tired than usual. The important thing is to keep moving forward. If you're struggling, reach out to your doctor, a registered dietitian, or a physical therapist for guidance tailored to your needs. Support from family and friends can also make a huge difference. No matter your challenges, whether it's diet, medical conditions, or just staying motivated, know that you can adapt the muscle protection plan to fit your life. With patience, flexibility, and persistence, you'll find your own path to lasting strength and well-being. Even with the best intentions, it's easy to fall into habits that work against your muscle health. By recognizing the most common mistakes, you can take simple steps to avoid them and keep your strength for years to come. One of the most frequent mistakes is skipping breakfast or eating little protein in the morning. Many seniors are used to a light breakfast, maybe just toast and coffee or a sweet pastry. But after a night of fasting, your body craves protein to start the day strong. Missing this opportunity can set you up for muscle loss over time. Try starting your morning with Greek yogurt, eggs, or a smoothie with protein powder and fruit. Another mistake is saving all your protein for dinner. It's a common pattern. A light breakfast, a small lunch, and then a big dinner with most of the day's protein. While it feels comforting to enjoy a hearty meal at the end of the day, this routine leaves your muscles hungry for much of the day and reduces your body's ability to build or maintain muscle. Spread your protein evenly. Aim for 20 to 40 grams at every meal if possible. Many people believe that taking a supplement or drinking a protein shake is enough, but rely on these and ignore whole foods. Supplements can help, but they should not replace real meals. Whole foods offer a range of nutrients like vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, and fiber that your body needs to use protein effectively. There's also the trap of focusing only on cardio exercises and neglecting resistance or strength training. Walking and biking are great for your heart and mood, but they don't provide enough stimulus for your muscles to grow or maintain strength. Even simple resistance exercises like lifting light weights, using resistance bands, or practicing chair squats will help keep your muscles healthy. Sometimes, people give up after a setback, a missed workout, a week of less than ideal meals, or an illness. Remember, no one is perfect. The path to lasting strength is about consistency, not perfection. Celebrate your efforts, learn from each experience, and simply begin again. Let me tell you about Frank, a 74-year-old retired mechanic from Illinois. Frank used to skip breakfast and believed he could make up for it with a big steak at dinner. After months of feeling tired and losing muscle, he tried changing his habits. A protein-rich breakfast, balanced meals, and a few resistance band exercises each week. Frank regained energy, improved his balance, and found that small changes made a big difference. By being aware of these common mistakes and making small adjustments, you can stay on track. Remember, every meal, every walk, every stretch is an investment in your strength and independence. You have the power to protect your muscles and your future one choice at a time. Let's imagine a typical day for an older adult who wants to protect and rebuild their muscle. The good news is that you don't have to make huge changes or follow a complicated schedule. With a few small adjustments and the right choices, you can create powerful habits that keep your body strong and your life full of energy. Start your morning by waking up slowly and stretching your arms and legs. Take a few deep breaths, greet the day, and prepare a breakfast that includes high-quality protein. This might be a bowl of Greek yogurt with berries, a couple of scrambled eggs, or cottage cheese with a sliced banana. Enjoy your meal slowly, giving your body the fuel it needs to start strong. After breakfast, go for a short walk outside if you can, or do some gentle movements around your home. Even 5 or 10 minutes of walking, light stretching, or using a resistance band can help wake up your muscles and get your blood flowing. At lunchtime, make sure to include another source of protein. Grilled chicken or turkey, a tuna sandwich, or a lentil soup with whole grain bread. Add some colorful vegetables for vitamins and fiber. Drink water or unsweetened tea, and take a few minutes to relax and enjoy your meal. In the afternoon, do something that keeps your mind active and your body moving. This could be gardening, playing with grandchildren, doing simple chores, or a short resistance exercise session. If you feel hungry, snack on a small handful of nuts, some cottage cheese, or a protein smoothie. Dinner should be another balanced meal, such as baked salmon with steamed broccoli and quinoa, or a stir-fry with tofu and plenty of vegetables. Once again, focus on getting 20 to 40 grams of protein to give your muscles what they need. Spend time at the table, connect with your loved ones, and reflect on your day. About 30 to 60 minutes before bed, have a light snack with slow-digesting protein-like cottage cheese with a sprinkle of cinnamon or a small glass of milk. This last meal helps your muscles recover and grow while you sleep. Finish your day by winding down, dim the lights, turn off screens, and do a few gentle stretches. Practice deep breathing or listen to calming music. Head to bed at a consistent time, aiming for 7 to 9 hours of restful sleep. This daily routine is simple, flexible, and realistic for almost anyone. By following these steps, fueling your body with quality protein, moving every day, and honoring your need for rest, you give your muscles and your whole self the best chance to stay strong and independent for years to come. It's one thing to talk about muscle health in theory, but nothing is more powerful than seeing real people change their lives. Over the years, I have witnessed countless stories of older adults across America who have transformed their strength, mobility, and independence through small, science-backed changes. Here are a few inspiring case studies that show what's possible, no matter your age or background. Let's begin with Margaret, a 74-year-old from Texas. Margaret came to my clinic frustrated by her declining muscle, joint pain, and fear of falling. She used to love gardening and spending time with her grandchildren, but weakness and poor balance made daily activities stressful. Together, we built a plan. Spread her protein intake evenly across the day, enjoy cottage cheese before bed, and add simple resistance exercises 3 times a week. Within 6 months, Margaret regained much of her strength, improved her balance, and rediscovered her confidence. She now walks daily, gardens, and plays with her grandkids without fear. Another remarkable story is John, a 68-year-old retired postal worker from Ohio. John had never been interested in exercise and thought protein was only for athletes. After a mild fall left him worried about his future, John decided to try something new. By focusing on protein at every meal, especially a cup of cottage cheese before bed, and joining a local senior fitness class, John saw dramatic results. He rebuilt muscle, improved his blood sugar, and felt happier and more energetic. For the first time in years, he started playing golf again and enjoying long walks with friends. Let's not forget Dorothy, an 80-year-old from New Jersey. Dorothy had always been independent, but after a long hospital stay, she lost significant muscle and felt exhausted. Her family worried about her ability to live alone. We worked together on a gentle plan: protein-rich meals, light band exercises, daily walks, and prioritizing sleep. Slowly but surely, Dorothy rebuilt her strength, regained her independence, and found new joy in life. She even joined an online book club and became more social than ever before. These stories all share a common theme. Meaningful change starts with small, consistent actions. No matter your age, you can improve your muscle, regain energy, and take back control over your health. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Whether you walk an extra block, add protein to your breakfast, or try a few gentle exercises, every effort moves you closer to your goals. The path to strength and independence is open to everyone. With the right information, a little support, and a willingness to begin, you too can create your own success story, one step, one meal, and one day at a time. Whenever I speak with older adults about muscle health, a few important questions come up again and again. Let's address some of the most common concerns and clear up the confusion so you can move forward with confidence on your journey to better strength and independence. Is too much protein bad for my kidneys? This is one of the most common worries, especially among seniors. The good news is that for healthy older adults, research shows that higher protein diets do not harm the kidneys. In fact, getting enough protein is crucial for maintaining muscle and overall health as you age. If you have known kidney disease or specific medical concerns, consult your doctor or a registered dietitian for personalized advice. Can I eat cottage cheese if I am lactose intolerant? Yes. Many brands now offer lactose-free cottage cheese, which is easy to find in most grocery stores. Greek yogurt is also naturally lower in lactose and may be better tolerated. If you're still sensitive, try small amounts and watch how your body reacts, or consider plant-based protein sources like tofu or protein shakes. What if I just don't like cottage cheese or dairy? That's completely fine. You have many options: Greek yogurt, eggs, fish, poultry, lean beef, tofu, and plant-based protein powders. The key is to focus on variety and consistency. Choose the foods you enjoy and can eat regularly. How long will it take to see results? Most people begin to notice more energy, better balance, and improved strength within 4 to 8 weeks of following these strategies. The most important thing is to stick with your plan and be patient. Small, steady changes add up over time. Can exercise really make a difference at my age? Absolutely. Countless studies and real-world stories prove that it's never too late to build or regain muscle. Even gentle exercises, done consistently, can improve strength, mobility, and quality of life for people well into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. Do I have to join a gym or buy expensive supplements? Not at all. Many people achieve great results with simple home exercises, walks in the neighborhood, and affordable protein foods like eggs, beans, and cottage cheese. Supplements are optional and should only be used to fill in gaps if needed. What if I have medical conditions or take medication? Always talk to your doctor or healthcare provider when starting a new exercise or nutrition plan, especially if you have health conditions or are on medication. They can help you adapt the plan safely to meet your needs. What if I slip up or have a bad week? Don't worry. Progress is never a straight line, and setbacks happen to everyone. What matters is getting back on track. Each day is a new opportunity to take care of your body and move toward your goals. Remember, your questions and concerns are important. Don't hesitate to ask for help. Seek guidance from professionals or connect with others on the same journey. Muscle health is a lifelong process, and you have every reason to feel hopeful and empowered. As we reach the end of this journey together, it's time to reflect on what real strength means in our later years. Strength is not just about lifting heavy weights or having big muscles. It's about being able to get up from a chair with ease, walk confidently with loved ones, carry groceries, enjoy time with grandchildren, and most importantly, maintain your independence. Through science, real stories, and practical tips, we have seen that muscle loss is not inevitable. You can rebuild and protect your muscles at any age with small, consistent changes like adding quality protein to every meal, spreading your intake across the day, prioritizing sleep and movement, and listening to your body's needs. The power to shape your future is in your hands. Every breakfast rich in protein, every short walk, every stretch before bed, and every night of restful sleep is an investment in your independence, vitality, and joy. The examples of Margaret, John, Dorothy, and so many others show that meaningful change doesn't require perfection or youth. It simply requires a willingness to start, adapt, and keep going. There may be days when you feel tired, discouraged, or face setbacks. That's normal. Progress is rarely a straight path. What matters is picking yourself up, learning from every experience, and moving forward with hope. Remember, strength is not just physical. It is the quiet determination to care for yourself, to try new things, and to enjoy life on your own terms. So as you close this guide, ask yourself, what small step can I take today? Maybe it's preparing a protein-rich breakfast, going for a walk, calling a friend to share your progress, or simply deciding that your health matters. Each day offers a fresh chance to strengthen not only your body, but also your spirit. You are not alone on this journey. Across America and around the world, millions of people are making the same commitment to a healthier, stronger future. Together, we are rewriting what aging looks like, full of energy, resilience, and meaning. Thank you for trusting me as your guide. I wish you strength, joy, and endless possibility on your path forward. Your best years can still be ahead, starting today, with one positive choice at a time. In summary, you've learned how small, science-backed changes, like eating quality protein at every meal, spreading it throughout the day, moving your body, and getting good sleep, can protect your muscles, boost your strength, and help you stay independent as you age. These strategies are simple, practical, and proven to bring real benefits to your daily life. Remember, it's never too late to start. Each positive choice you make is a step toward greater health, confidence, and joy. If you found this guide helpful, please subscribe to the channel for more valuable health insights. Share this video with your loved ones, or leave a comment about what topics you'd like to learn more about. Your support helps others discover the power of healthy aging, too. Wishing you strength, good health, and many vibrant years ahead. See you in the next video.